I've got a free play on the Jets Broncos coming up, and actually it's more than just a free selection, which if you recall, I did go 3-1 with in the NFL last weekend, 3-1 with the college free selections as well. But if I was to release this on the website to paying customers, it would actually be a 5-dime play, which would be my lowest rated release because I normally rate the plays 5 dimes, 10 dimes, 15-dime plays, although I occasionally do have that raised the bar 20-dime release like last Sunday with Tampa Bay over Denver, or that extremely rare 30-dime play, the 17th ever in my career with Miami of Florida, crushing Florida State on Saturday. But I opted not to do that, to release it to paying customers and charge them for this selection because I like the game, but instead I wanted just to put it out here on the video report so they don't get charged, everybody gets it for free. That's the bottom line. I did it once before with Kansas City in week number 1. I'm going to do it again right here on the video. Plus, I'm also going to discuss that quirky little trend that I've mentioned before that is a great 85 to 90% play historically over the first 8 to 10 weeks of the NFL season. And that has some long-term trend significance because I've been following it for about 8 to 10 years or so. So we'll talk about that as well. But listen, quickly, I want to just talk about perspective. You know, many times I've told you, if you are a neophyte to gambling or if you're a seasoned pro like myself, I've said this before, I'm going to say it again. Accept the fact you're going to lose. Oh my God, Al, you've said those dirty little words. Yeah, I know. Most people in this industry are selling you the moon and the stars. They're telling you they always win. They're going to make you a fortune. They're never going to lose. And I'm telling you, accept the fact you're going to lose. Because you will. Because you're going to lose multiple days sometimes, and you're going to lose really big sometimes. Because if you accept all those negatives, you will always remain even keel. You won't be the guy throwing the brick through the television set. I don't think Marriott would appreciate it anyway. And you won't be the guy walking on the ledge after a big loss. That's the bottom line. You will be just like me. I don't celebrate the highs, and I don't lament the lows. Even keel, you stay focused. The other thing about perspective is this. Keep in mind that what we do is for fun and games. It's because we have a little extra money and we bet, we wager, and we get that vicarious thrill. That's what gambling is all about. Whether you're my wife, who is a video poker addict that's killing her staying out of casinos right now, or you like to wager on games. We get that vicarious thrill from chasing the win. That's the bottom line. But the perspective is this. There are bigger things to worry about, guys. So again, when you lose, just remember the flip side is, listen, we're a small little company here. You know, in March, when we had to close because of the pandemic, we were just like everybody else and so many other millions of people out there and many of you watching here. Myself and everybody else, we closed the company, laid everybody off, and you know, we reopened at the end of July. A lot of people weren't that fortunate. But since March, on customer service, and you know, one of the big points of when I created these websites is to have a full-time customer service staff. One of the guys on customer service who's been with us for 14 years happens to be my cousin, and I'm very close to him. He's got stage 4 pancreatic cancer and is in the hospital right now. Another gentleman on customer service who've been with us from the outset and came back. I've known him for 30 years. A month and a half ago, his wife goes into the hospital, has a heart attack, has emergency bypass surgery, and dies during the operation. Heart just horrendous. I just, it's shocking, still shocking. I'm beyond words. Myself, a couple of days after we closed the company in March, I was diagnosed either with a rare lymphoma or a super rare leukemia. I'm in Houston right now. I got my test results from MD Anderson yesterday from my latest bone marrow biopsy. Well, guess what? I was the lucky one. I got the super rare leukemia. Lucky, lucky me. So, real life, remember, when you lose that next big game, it's just fun and games. It's because you had extra money and you were seeking that vicarious thrill. Accept all those things ahead of time, and remember what we do is just the fun and games department. Oh, by the way, if anybody ever asks you about a bone marrow biopsy, doesn't hurt at all. Honest to God, doesn't hurt at all. They numb you up, you feel a little, no pain. Honest to goodness, I'm just telling you, I've had 2 of them now, and I'm going to have a lot more. Really, my knee getting drained hurt a little more than that, and that didn't even hurt. Just FYI, in case you're asking, wanting to know. So let's talk about the game. Let's talk about football. I've always maintained that you don't bet good money on bad teams. Well, we got 2 bad teams here, 2 0-3 teams. Now, granted, these teams have both played pretty damn difficult schedules. The Broncos' 3 opponents are 8-1. The Jets' 3 opponents are 7-2. The difference here is you have a Broncos team that's playing on the road on a short week. That's an injury-ravaged team with 11 guys on injured reserve, most of them starters. Starting a guy at quarterback, Brett Rippon, who was an undrafted free agent out of Boise State, who spent 8 weeks with them last year on the practice squad, who's getting the start because he was their 3rd stringer because Jeff Driscoll was a joke. I knew that. That's why I had to raise the bar 20-dime play on Tampa Bay last Sunday on Tampa, crushing them 28-10 as a 6-point favorite in Denver. Rippon, however, came in the 4th quarter, hit his first 8 passes. His 9th one was intercepted. They're starting him. The knock on Rippon, he's accurate, but he doesn't have great arm strength. He also doesn't have much talent around him. And the Broncos have been especially ravaged injury-wise on defense. Missing, I think they only have 2 members of their original rotation of their defensive line still from the start of the season. Not to mention they're without Von Miller, DeMarcus Walker. So many guys are out. It's just crazy what they've lost. Now, have the Jets been awful? Yes, they have been. No ifs, ands, or buts. But keep this in mind. The Jets have found themselves down by double-digit margins in the first half of every single one of their games against the Bills, the 49ers, and Colts. So Adam Gase has not been able to establish the run to give his quarterback any chance. So when his quarterback is throwing a zillion passes trying to get his team back in, being picked off because he's forcing throws because they're down by double digits, you can see how the little boulder turns into this huge avalanche as it rolls down, right? You can see the problem here. I think here you have to go and take the Jets in this contest. And that's what I would do. And again, if I released this on the site, it would be a 5-dime play. And my plays are normally 5 dimes, 10 dimes, 15-dime releases. I have that rare 20-dime play like I did with the Buccaneers on Sunday. And I occasionally have that super rare raise the bar 30-dime play, which I did, the 17th ever, with Miami of Florida crushing Florida State, 52-10 on Saturday. Again, I think there's just too many problems. The injuries, the short week, 3rd-string quarterback making his first ever start to go with Denver. And then you look at this line. Look at how Denver was a 2.5-point favorite, and now the line is swung the other way. The Jets, an 0-3 Jets team, now a 1-point choice in this contest. So again, Jets are the way to go. Hey, good money, bad teams. Just a warning. In terms of baseball, I thought about the Dodgers on the run line here tonight, but minus $1.15, of course, I cashed in with them last night on the run line. But, you look at Clayton Kershaw, I'm not so concerned about his postseason performances in the past because he's been dreadful. But I'm more concerned with the fact that the Dodgers last night did not do it offensively for me at all. Only 6 hits, 1 for 8 with runners in scoring position. And you got Brandon Woodruff coming in here, who last Saturday in a must-win game against the Cardinals in St. Louis delivered with 8 innings of 2-hit shutout ball with 10 strikeouts, 2.25 earned run average in 5 September starts. Now, the Brewers blew out their bullpen yesterday. Just about everybody got 8 innings from the bullpen. Didn't go to their closer, Josh Hader. They're shorthanded anyway on their staff. That's where I'm a little concerned, and that's why I didn't go with the Dodgers on the run line here tonight. In terms of that quirky little stat, if you could pick the straight-up winners of games in the NFL over the past 10 to 12 years, the first 8 to 10 weeks of the season, the straight-up winners will cover an 85 to 90% clip. Week number 1, 15-1 against the spread. Week number 2, which I warned you about, generally is that week where the trend just doesn't, it always falls flat. They went 9-7. Last week, 14-1-1. So, straight-up winners are 38-9-1 against the spread. Now, if we could just pick up the straight-up winners like that, well, you wouldn't be watching this video, would you? In terms of the favorites and underdogs, it's been a dead split almost right through the first 3 weeks of the season. The favorites have a 1-game advantage. Last week, of the 8 underdogs that covered, 6 of those 8, starting with Miami on Thursday night, ending with Kansas City on Monday night, 6 of those 8 underdogs won the damn game outright. So again, Jets would be the play here tonight. Lean a little toward the Dodgers on the run line. That'll do it. Wish you well, guys, and talk to you again tomorrow.